All right. Let's just jump into it. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed to the channel. Thank you for everybody that's commenting. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to Fit Media. I'm playing in the back for ambiance. Yeah, shout out to them. And but yeah, thank you all for commenting. Thank you all for liking. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for viewing. Thank you all for watching. I'm getting better. You're making me better. That's how it should be. I'm gonna eat a popsicle. No pause. Anyways, let's get into Donald Trump and Adin Ross. Was this a good idea for the boy? Because he's like a Drake mini me kind of.
A big fan of yours.
What's up, Baron? Yeah, Baron's awesome. He's a great kid. Amazing. He's
Great
tall.
guy.
Very tall.
He's tall, good student.
Yeah. He's
Good
very
boy.
smart. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is.
I do want to first off, say this. Everyone in the chat, everyone in this room, everyone loves you. And I just want to say you're a true hero for this country, and I really appreciate you. And I'm really thrilled we could do this
Wow.
today.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it. give me a hint. That's great.
So do you know what live streaming is on these platforms?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
More or less. It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. I'm gonna explain it to you, all right? So
Okay.
I'm gonna show you this chat right now. Let me show you this. So this is the live chat.
Right.
So you already broke the website in 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
you broke it. The chat wasn't working, but we ended up fixing it. It's just very slow. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys can put hi in the chat, and
Yeah.
W's mean it's good. W means win.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. So
Good.
they're putting W's and stuff. Yep. W Trump. All right. So yeah, everyone is just super
Oh,
thrilled.
you're
that-
gonna have big ratings today. I can see it.
yeah, I want to break 1 million. I think we could do it.
Oh, good. Oh, you'd do much more.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I mean,
excited. I'm thrilled. Elon actually already he commented on the X post that I went live already.
Well,
with
Elon
you.
is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's really a fantastic person. Little imagination he's got, doesn't he?
yeah.
Rockets and tunnels and
Yeah,
everything. He's a fantastic guy.
he's great. So let's get started today. Let's have some fun.
Let's go.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds.
I'm gonna say this in the most political way possible. You could tell that Adin Ross is who Adin Ross is because he got cheap mics like me. We sound good. It is what it is. This is starting off a little lackluster. I thought them people was gonna be twerking and shit. I guess you can only twerk at Kamala. You gotta be standing still at Donald Trump. Like, come on, man.
Sounds good.
Cool. Let's have a
go.
good time. All right. Well, the first thing is, the reason why, I really wanted to make this stream happen is because there's a lot of people that are first-time voters watching today. And I want to make it very clear to everybody that you're a human being. You're a great human being. I want you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why it's very important as a first-time voter to go out and vote and why they should vote for you.
I'd love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you have some oldsters too, because I also know some oldsters that are listening and watching. But it's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have a country that's not respected, a country that's being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago we're having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way. And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And we're going to make this country so strong and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, so you can make the kind of money this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible.
I'm
Right?
trying to get like you, boss.
But you'll.
The glazing he doing this is a level of glazing that I didn't think I would ever witness in my life. If Donald Trump would get up and be like, yo, you gotta suck it. You gotta suck it. He would do it. Look at him. He is amazed, glamorized. He is a true utopian belief looking at this older white man. This young white man loves this older white man. And hey, this is what, vote for who you vote for. Oh, also, comment below for who you voting for. Just do it. This is a little bad here. Anyways, the way Donald Trump speaks is for the average person that has the vocabulary of a 13-year-old. Just crossed over from 6th to 7th grade. No, 7th to 8th grade. And can only understand, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. Not actually saying how it's going to be great. What type of jobs are going to help bloom into this new United States as you want? What type of United States do you actually want? He never says that. He just says, we're going to make America great. It's going to be good again. And everybody will be like, yeah! But, I mean, that's fine. People are simple. Yeah, keep it simple. You can't. We're going to build, stabilize, have infrastructure that not only empowers, but and also destabilizes the old ways of thinking. Like, you can't just keep hammering words at people. You have to keep it simple. And he's what people should be like, okay, damn, I gotta keep it really simple. Because a lot of people are simple-minded. You can't just sit there and tell them, hey, we need these STEMs. We need science, technology, math. What's the other E for? I can't remember. But we need these programs to better the country. We gotta put money into these infrastructures, into schools, into all of these programs, into these nonprofits, so they can go into schools, create these programs, make sure that they're running, have the people installed there to make sure that they're running. He's not going to do that. As I showed in the last stream, he's actually going to make it worse for people who don't make as much money as him or don't make as much money as him. These two are millionaires. He's a billionaire. He's a millionaire about to be a multimillionaire. They're good. And the taxes that he is going to expire next year, or not expire, but be set in stone, is going to only benefit these two. It's not going to benefit you. Just while you're trying to get your way to that level, taxes are going to be hitting you in your ass way more.
You'll love your life and you'll be successful. And at a young age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. He was. We had a debate, and the debate didn't go so well for him. And they sort of, what they did, it was really a coup of somebody. He had 14 million votes. He had it, and all of a sudden they went to him and they said, "We don't want you running anymore." And it's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. Here, you're focused on this one man,
right,
and all of a sudden you're fighting somebody else. But she's actually worse than he is. And you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that it's going to be very evident. So go out. We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
I have another question. And again, Mr. President, I'm not really fully into politics, but, I'm getting there. And I do want to make this very clear as well, now that it's on my mind. Back when I was I went to high school in California, okay? Right. And, a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible of a person you are and all these things. And the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate to have.
He's a rat bastard. What if he becomes president and then becomes a dictator? He's like, Aiden, who were the teachers that told you that I was a bad person? Why are you asking that, Mr. Trump? Well, Aiden, I just want to have a conversation with you. And when he has a conversation, they end up in a lot of white politicians are not too far off from H to the Izzo, if you know what I'm saying.
Have teachers, discuss politics in school, but it's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers. And you're a kid. When you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge.
Sure, that's true.
So I want to know what your thoughts on that. Kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. They're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
He is a snitch, a rat, and also a liar. I doubt any teachers was talking to him like that. He's a liar. He's also a reverse snitch. He's snitching on people he don't even need to snitch on.
It's been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive. They don't like the term liberal. You're not allowed to use that anymore, so
Wow.
I usually use it. But this liberal way that they have, and it's a bad thing for the country. You know, we want to have borders. We want to have low taxes. We want to have great schools, really, great schools, so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that. But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves
course.
from some bad players. You got some bad players out there. And, it's interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. Other than we had nothing. Everybody was afraid we were going to have wars. And just the opposite. North Korea, I remember Barack Obama was telling me, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
Big nuclear presence. I didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started long ago, and that was ISIS, and I defeated them in a very short amount of time.
I remember.
Very quickly. And we had no wars under the Trump administration, and that's a great thing. That's a really great thing. It was, I think, 82 years since that's happened. And we won't have wars again, but we could have a war before we even get there. That's the problem. We have a number of months. We have 4 months, and the election's starting very soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetent people. And we have very incompetent people right now. And I'm not saying that out of happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness, because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of stock market crashes or depressions or whatever it may be. It's a tremendous military danger. We have Israel's blowing up. The Middle East is blowing up. Russia's going wild with Ukraine. And things are out of control, and we have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody that knows. I was watching when Russia was thinking about going in, and they never would have done it with me. They never, and they didn't. But they never, after I got in, they started loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for negotiation purposes. And Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong. And ultimately,
You see how he says the most minimal things. I'm not saying to not vote for him. I'm just saying know who you're voting for. He's only said he's done everything wrong. He said everything wrong, and that it wouldn't have happened on his term or during his term. It would have. Also, the taxes. Let's get to the taxes. And how this actually doesn't work for people like you and me. Kamala Harris, how she stands on taxes, business taxes to be determined. Capital gains and dividends tax to be determined. Let's see. Where is Trump? Where do they have Trump at? Donald Trump. Here we go. No tax policies proposed. Individual income taxes. Make the expiring individual income tax cuts from 2017 tax cuts and Job Act permanent. Consider replacing personal income taxes with increased tariffs. Exempt tips from income taxes. In 2018, IRS-W2 data indicates 6.1 million taxpayers reported a total of 38.3 billion in taxable tip income for an average of $6,229 per taxpayer. So let's read. Trump eyes keeping 21% corporate tax, extending individual cuts. Corporate tax plan marked a shift for Republican frontrunner. Trump aims to seize on Biden's economic weakness with voters. Why is it now? Oh, that is. I messed up that. Oh, you have to have a subscription. Why would I have a subscription for that? let's go to NASDAQ, since people probably believe that. Using a property model, Tax Foundation research concluded that if Trump made his 2017 tax reform permanent, it would boost long-run GDP by 1.2%, capital stock by 1.1%, wages by 0.4%, so nothing, and produce 926,000 full-time jobs. Trump's been hearing all the problems Trump made about tax elected. The act lowered individual income tax rates across most brackets and adjusted income ranges for each bracket. For example, the law nearly doubled the standard deduction of $12,000 for single filers and $24,000 for married couples filing jointly. It also eliminated personal exemptions while doubling the child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000 per child, up to $1,400 being refundable. The tax cuts would increase federal tax revenue by $4.3 trillion on a conventional basis and by $3.6 trillion on a dynamic basis. Tax Foundation research that the reduction in revenue would come over a decade, and when the federal government is already projected to run deficits totaling of $22 trillion. Trump would continue to provision in his 2017 tax reform policy that expanded the use of 529 savings plans, which parents normally use to save for their child's higher education, to include K-12 private school institutions or tuition. Alimony in 2017 tax reform, Trump also repealed the deduction for alimony payments for divorcees, finalized after 2018, and made alimony income non-taxable for recipients. The Trump tax plan capped local and state income tax deductions at $10,000, limited the mortgage interest deduction to the first $750,000 mortgage debt. Favorable treatment for employee stock options. That, I would say, that's probably the best one. Permanently reduce corporate and business taxes from 21% to 15%. Who eats that? That's the workers. And not everyone can own a giant corporation or enterprise. So
ultimately, they attacked, and they wouldn't have done that if I were president. So we got to get back in and get it straightened out. We'll get that one worked out.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You know, you had mentioned, the stock market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw the post you made on your app Truth. What I just saw yesterday and the day before, I'm in crypto and I'm in stocks myself, and I couldn't believe what's going on. You have Japan, you have everybody just falling. And I want to ask you, how do we basically get it back up and flowing and back up and running? And, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because he just wants to stay in bed all day. He can't get up. He wants to stay in bed. It was a fraud. They tried to tell people he was competent. He knew what he was doing. And in the debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years, too. He campaigned from his basement. He didn't campaign. I said, where is this guy during COVID? They used COVID as an excuse not to let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And we're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. They put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we have probably, I think, 20 million people came into our country with open borders, and many come from prisons. And you can be a liberal, and your people can be, but coming from some of the meanest prisons all over the world, not just South America, from all over the world, from the Congo and Africa, they come from all over the world, they're coming, and they're releasing their prisoners into the United States. Now, you can be a liberal guy, you can be progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing. No. They're coming out of mental institutions. They're pouring into the United States, and they're hurting and damaging our country, and they're killing our people. And the crime rate with what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime. And it's going to take on proportions the likes of which this country has never seen before. And remember, these people are just getting accustomed. These are people coming out of mental institutions, prisons and jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in. So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young audience, but a young audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about this.
No, no, they can't. Jobs are being taken, a lot of
Jobs,
crime. So what President Trump, what do we do to fix that issue? What if I happen to be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Well, that's what we want. We want people to come in, but they have to come in through a system, through a legal system. And, one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the southern border, they have no problem getting in. I don't
Right.
even know why they're doing this, but some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they've studied, they learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and
Right.
they're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from really rough places, really bad places, and they come in through caravans, and these caravans have 10, 20, 30,000 people, and they're
Wow.
pouring through Mexico.
That's crazy.
And Mexico was great when I was there. They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into this country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in.
Wow.
They had catch and release. We had catch and release. That's you catch a criminal and you release him into our country. I said, no. We catch a criminal and we release him into Mexico. I think you feel better about that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's one of those things. There's so many things. They are so bad. It's like amateur night. It's either amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right. Do you what do you think about what's going on in Venezuela? The whole situation out there.
Well, I know it very well. And Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela. They're in our country now. They've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's safer
down.
than many of our cities after they've released their criminals into all of our cities.
Yeah.
And I'm kidding.
I know.
The reason I have to say that, because the fake news media knows that too, but they'll say, he suggested they go to Venezuela. They are so bad, it's hard to believe. But anyway, so Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminal elements, which are large. It was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities. And they've moved them into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing? I don't think so. I don't think they're thrilled. I don't think so. So their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists. Everything's being moved into the United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime.
Let's see if he's telling the truth. It's really easy. Why is Venezuela's crime rate falling? A government reported decline in Venezuela create an illusion of security breakthrough, but the reduction in reconfiguration of the country's underworld and the state response. In mid-May, Venezuela's security officials announced that the crime indicators have fallen by 25.1% of which countries decreased to larger operations by security forces against criminal group. President Nicolas Maduro, I think it's also tallied similar theory in December 2020, saying this country is seeing the best results in over 20 years in terms of citizen security, peace, and the protection of the people. Observatory, how is the role? There may be more as criminal migration. Aside from large-scale security operations, the OVV's most recent violence between the migration of criminal groups and reduction in crime. Countries, criminal groups, the labor and commercial to pay criminal groups, reducing use for extortion and kidnappings, ransom kidnappings. Criminal is falling because of the reduction of the country economy, because of loss of opportunities for crime. These days, especially Trinidad, have exploited the vulnerability of minors and a lack of regional cooperation between authorities to expand criminal operations abroad. In Chile, Colombia, and Peru, the expansion of these organizations had led to spikes in violence and crime. Monopolizing violence. The territorial and criminal homogeny enjoyed by some non-state armed groups has created a false insecurity in some reason. Also points to pacts between the government and some criminal groups in addition to the monopolization of violence in some regions as contributing factors to improve security. For instance, Colombian guerrilla group with Operation Venezuela gained a monopoly on extortion in the poor state bordering Colombia after receiving preferential treatment from the mulatto government. Could be telling the truth on that. It could be, it's 50-50.
Right. So that's why I say we'll go to Venezuela for our next interview. Okay. It's a very serious problem. I mean, honestly, what they're doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Aiden. They're destroying stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago. And now he's really not smart. No. And you saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she is, look, she couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam, but she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this is who we have running our country. It's a shame. She's ultra-left, ultra-radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, Attorney General, because she was Attorney General of California, she destroyed California. Her policies have destroyed California. Her policies, when she was the district attorney, have destroyed San Francisco. San Francisco was the best city in our country 20 years ago, and now it's, not even, frankly, it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're going to have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad. I lived in California for a long time. Even Los Angeles, it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar homes that do what I do, content, they're getting robbed. They're getting robbed. The police don't really they're not active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree. I saw a video in San Francisco where people just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot, and leave like nothing ever happened. It's crazy.
They loot, and not only that, they have like $1,000 or $1,500 where she started, where she won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people go in with like calculators, and they're adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted, so that if they get nabbed, they say, no.
What's funny, I've seen a video on that. That's funny. That's actually funny. But also, it's not just Kamala Harris that has, ruined anything. There's multiple people. See, they put the blame on people. I'm not even going to say they put the blame on the black woman, because it might be that she's leaning more into the black side, because right now, lean into your politics. Do it, whatever. But there's a bunch of prosecutors that have toyed with evidence, manipulated evidence, did all the bad shit, but now it's her, that she's the only one that's ever done it, even though millions of black people have been going to jail for a long time.
It's less than whatever it is, $1,000.
Right.
And she started the concept of that, and it's now spreading. Our country, we need strong leadership.
Also, people want you to feel bad for large corporations, even though they benefit off of child labor, slave labor. You benefit from buying and having to spend your hard-earned money for it. And they have insurance on their items. Whatever.
We didn't have stuff like this. When you look at what's happened to this country, and you look at other countries, crime rates all over the world are down. You know why? Because they're all dumping their bad people, their prisoners, and all of the people that are bad. They're not only the people on the streets, the people that are in jails. You know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America. And our crime is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof. And, if we win, and I hope we win, we should win, We seem to be winning, and you can't even imagine that anybody would want these. This has nothing to do with me. Who would want these people? But can you imagine? They're just getting comfortable now, and they're criminals. So they're sort of laying low a little bit now because they're not comfortable. But soon they'll be comfortable, and they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they were let. But if they do their job, they have their pension knocked out. They have their car taken away, their family taken away, their house taken away. Everything's taken away, and they lose their job. It's a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could.
Scare tactics is amazing. Propaganda is amazing because the amount of power the cops have. If you want more power, you would have to give them the same power as when they were slave catchers. Read that. And so if he wants to do that, these stupid motherfuckers in the back, Tweedledum 1, Dumbass 2, Idiot 3, probably whatever Hispanic is in there. Nah, they don't really go after Hispanic people. But black people are going to start dying by the droves because Hispanics don't kill Hispanics when they're cops. Sorry, it doesn't happen that much at all.
Do the job. We're going to have to let them do their job. We have a crime-infested nation. We're a drug-addicted nation, and we're a crime-infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah. I want to move topics a little bit here. I saw. I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with 3 other women, and you just got ambushed. They were late, and not a hi, hello, how are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you apart. And I think you handled it pretty well. But I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think they just straight up do that for you? But then they're gonna ask the other side, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right. Well, I did this as a favor. This was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000. It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me, but whatever it was packed.
Yeah.
And I did it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And I walk in, and instead of saying, hello, thank you very much for doing this, they also said, Kamala's going to do it. But then Kamala said, she wants to do it because she can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. She's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did one interview where a hard question's asked, she's incapable of answering it. But I walk in, and this woman starts talking about, she talked about, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me. And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this out of respect to the black community. And we're getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community. And she came across, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there.
So, do you think Donald Trump would beef with Disney? I wonder if his ego is that big, because Disney owns ABC. Also, he was ambushed, but that's tactics. You're politicking. For the lowest level of politicking, if you my enemy, we don't run up on you and we don't ambush you. Fuck all the talking. We don't spark your shit. They did that in a elegant manner. Republicans do it and Democrats do it. It is what it is. I don't know what his aim is. If his aim is to really be like that, so be it. I'm not surprised about white people. I'm not even surprised about niggas, because niggas is just, we get used any which way either way, so we might as well get used for something we think is right.
She was excellent. The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay. But I did it, and it was quite a sensation. Actually, a lot of people think it was well handled. The woman was so rude,
So rude.
that, it's hard to believe. You can walk into a thing, and I do them a favor, and I do this. Most people said, why are you doing it? I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look you become the president for all of the people,
Right.
not for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not even for just my, they talk about my base, it's a very big base. But you become president for all of the people. So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts, I don't know, she's strange. The whole thing is strange. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to your son, Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Right.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are, look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like, it's like you need these next 4 years. If not, he's like, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the time this election takes place. 20 million people. That's bigger than New York State. Many of those people are people that you should not have, and we're all for everything. All men are created equal, as the expression goes. Right?
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are
Yeah.
created equal. When
Yeah.
they wrote that, it was a slightly different time. Today, that alone is a politically incorrect statement.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
So all men and
It
women
is.
are created equal, everything. But the fact is, when you're dumping all of these criminals and all of these drug dealers, all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country badly. And it has to be, we have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Moving to the next. Oh,
Oh, I didn't know they were allowed to applaud. That's
yeah, they're allowed to applaud. You guys can keep applauding.
all right. That's good. Common sense, right? It is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates, be able to buy a house. You want to, so many
course.
different things. But you got to have common sense. And we're run by people. And, just a little thing. When I started campaigning almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. I got it back. Yeah.
It's a nice crowd, huh?
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Every one of my Jewish friends say, we love Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish. I love Merry
Good.
Christmas.
And
too.
Kamala doesn't, though. Kamala,
She doesn't like
no,
it?
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's insulting to use Merry Christmas. So we'll have to work on her.
I wanted to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense. Someone who has no common sense, Joe Biden. Do you think he was pushed out, or do you think he made the decision to step down?
No, he was not only pushed out, it was a coup. I'm telling you. They went in to see him.
Okay, so shout out to Nelk, but they kind of gave me this idea. I have two segments I want to do with you.
Okay.
The first one is use one word that comes to mind to describe that person. Okay? It's a fun game.
Fun.
Let's start. All right, who is the first picture? And we got the Nelk boys. One word.
Oh, great.
I love that. Okay,
Really
great.
good.
Okay.
So you're friends with them.
Yeah.
Are they competitors of yours, though?
Not even, honestly. Every time that I speak to Kyle or Steve,
Yeah,
it's just only
they're
love.
all great.
They're really, really
no,
good.
they're
Jimmy.
just great.
Yeah.
But in a way, you would be competitors, but you don't. even
They're more bigger on the YouTube side of things. I'm more
Right.
live, so it's a lot.
see.
It's a
I
different
see.
world,
So it's different,
but
yeah.
it's kind of like parallel.
Look at them. I mean, they're just great people. That was Dana White. He said, you got to do them. I said, who are they? I didn't know. And after I did them, it was like an explosion.
All right, let's see.
That's just funny. That's just funny. After I did, it's like an explosion. And he talks like this. I don't know why his hands spread out. It's like, is he lying and the lie just gets bitter and bitter and like, Donald Trump's a funny motherfucker.
See what we got next here. We got me.
Yeah. Well, I can just tell you that one word would be outstanding. My sons told me about you, and they told me about how big Dad. My Baron.
Yeah.
He said, Dad, he's really big. I said, yeah, but what about else? He said, he's also a friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
But big stuff, Aiden. So I just have to say outstanding to do what you've done at a young age. And I know how old you are. You're young. You're seriously young. My suit is older than you are.
How old your suit?
I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, let's see who we got next. You.
Patriot. I'm a patriot.
Okay. Joe Rogan.
Interesting. He really is. He's an amazing guy. He's a very interesting guy.
So we got next, Mr. White.
Oh, well, he's a fighter. I'll tell you, that guy, he fights. You wouldn't want to have him against you. A little bit true with all of these people that you're showing. There's a good one. Elon, a genius, truly a genius. You know, I see the rockets come down with the engines, and they're coming down, and the engines are landing without any, they have no wings, no nothing. That was a couple of years ago. I said,
Right.
what is that? And I said, what was that all about? He says, well, we want to be able to save the engines, not that they go into the ocean. And
I actually think Donald Trump's an evil genius. He makes himself so simple so that the stupidest of motherfuckers will be like, that makes the fucking right sense, Donald Trump. And then he's like, yo, eat out of my palm. Eat till you feel. And he's like, these stupid motherfuckers really think I'm simple-minded. But, bitch, I go and act like this so that you motherfuckers be eating out of my palm of my hand. You stupid. Like, yeah, I can't think that he's like this unless he's an evil genius. Because this is crazy.
and all, but he really is. He's a genius. He's also a very good person, Elon.
Let's see what we got next here. We got Kanye.
So he's very complicated. Let's say complicated. Because he's a really nice guy, but he can get himself into trouble, and he can get some other people. But you know, he's got a good heart. He does. But he's complicated. Kanye. Fake, but in all fairness, look. But she knows it. She's got a thing going. It's a good thing. She's a good thing for her. But there's a certain something she's got. She's got a spark. That's pretty amazing, actually. She's got a good spark. So I'll change it. I'll say spark. Mm-hmm. She does have. She gets on. You know, when she was running against a gentleman from Queens, and I asked his people, I said, are you careful? This guy was going to be Speaker of the House. It was going to be him, not Nancy Pelosi. And Joe, he is a good politician, a real pro, been around for a long time, many years in Congress. And I watched her on television one time. I saw a clip of her speaking, ranting, raving, going crazy. And I said, who's she running against? She's running against Joe. I said, oh, does he know what's going on? Oh, he's got no problem, sir. He's got no problem. I said, is he doing any debates? No, he doesn't have to bother with the debates. He's been there for years. I said, tell him I said that he should be careful. Because I saw her. And I said, she's Evita. I called her Evita. Maybe that's the best. Evita Peron, right? I said, she's Evita. She's in the streets screaming, shouting, going crazy, hugging people, hugging. Everybody's being hugged. I said, he better be careful. And she took him out. So, you know, I give her credit. But she's got a lot of sizzle. Well, there's a powerful man. He's a powerful man. I know him very well. I know him probably better than anybody in this country knows him, and got to know him extremely well. We had a great relationship until COVID. COVID was a step too far, but we did very well with China and President Xi. We did very, very well with China. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars. No president took in 10 cents. I took in. And I exposed China. Look, I want China to do great. Okay, but they can't take advantage of us like they were doing. For years and years, we'd lose $500 billion a year in trade, all of that. But then COVID came in, and it really, I changed. But I will have a very good relationship with him. There's no going to war with him. He doesn't want to go to war. We're not going to go to war. And we had a very good relationship, actually. He was right in this room. He came to this country, and he stayed here for a number of days, as you remember. And we had incredible meetings, a very famous meeting in the dining room, actually. But he loves his country, and he's very strong and very powerful and very interesting. But he really does love his country, I can tell you that.
Let's see who we got next on this list.
Yeah. Gavin Newscomb. You spelled it? No, you spelled his last name.
He literally ruined California. Beautiful state. California is beautiful. He ruined it.
And when you watch him, he's always saying, "Oh, we're doing so great."
Right,
We're not
right.
doing great. I mean, I have holdings in California, and I own a golf course right on the ocean, right on the Pacific Ocean in Palos Verdes. So beautiful. It's a club. It's big, many acres, hundreds of acres, and it's fantastic. But California is so precious. One of the most beautiful places in the world in terms of weather,
For sure.
in terms of everything. And they're just destroying it with crime. The crime is out of control. It's a very dangerous place. And he, I think it's a shame because I like him. I got along with him great. I helped him a lot with his fires. I kept saying, why don't you do something about the forest fires?
Yeah.
There's no reason.
He has to be an evil genius. It's just he has to be. He has to be.
To have that, there's no management. They have no management control over the forests. I said, you have to do things. But I got along with him great, but he has not done the job.
No.
He has not done the job. Sad.
Got a few more. Let's see what we got next.
Yeah. He's turned very liberal, actually. They say he's the son of Fidel Castro, and could be. I mean, anything's possible in this world, You're going to learn as you get older. You've seen a lot already for your age. Per age, I would say. Per year spent, you've seen as much as anybody. But Justin Trudeau is, I got along with him very well, actually, but he seems to be going very progressive, and the people of Canada are not liking it. I mean, if they had a good conservative person, which maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. But somebody that's a strong conservative would win in Canada. Canada is very unhappy about the way they've been treated as people. But I got along with them well. Now, this man I really got along with well. We had Little Rocket Man. We had the red button. He said, I have a red button on my desk. And I said, no, I have a red button too. And mine's bigger than yours and mine worked. And it was a really bad month and a half. He was very, very tough on President Obama, very
Yeah.
tough on everybody. It's the hermit nation, and it really is. I mean, I said to him, do you know Elton John? No. I said, did you ever hear the song Rocket Man? And I actually played him the song Rocket Man. He said, no, I've never heard it. I said, you're Rocket Man. He said, no, you call me Little Rocket Man, not Rocket Man. But I tell you what, so we had a very nasty 2 months. People were actually worried.
He has to be a genius. Because if he is not, that means a good portion of America reads at a very, very, very bad level. From adults to children.
Worried about it because it could have been dangerous. But President Obama told me that this was the single biggest threat to the United States, was Kim Jong-un of North Korea. And one day I got a call from people that wanted to see me about him, and he wanted to meet. He did not want to meet with Obama, did not want to meet with anybody. Got tremendous nuclear capability. He does. And we've checked that closely, and he does. I got to know him very well, and I got along with him great. He's very smart. He's very strong. He's the absolute leader. A lot of people say, oh, maybe he's not the leader. He's the absolute. When he's around, his people are standing up at attention. I've never seen. We were at a lunch, and they had 20 people on his side and 20 people on mine, looking at each other.
Right.
in Singapore. We had a meeting in Singapore. It was the biggest press conference I've ever had. There were thousands of paparazzi. I've never seen anything like it. I think people said they've never seen anything like it. I was walking in, he was walking in. We met in the middle, remember? And
Yeah, of
the
course.
place just went crazy. But we got along very well. He's very, very smart. And, you know, he's a real power. He's a real power. I think he's upset that I'm not there. Nothing would have happened with him. We would have gotten along with him fine. I was trying to get him to do, you know, his country is, you talk about location. I'm a real estate guy. He's right between, think of this, Russia, China, one side, and South Korea on the other. I said, you have a great piece of real estate. You could make so much. You could have gorgeous things. I said to him, think about gorgeous condos going up on your shore. He's got a lot of ocean. He's got ocean frontage on both sides, right? But I got along with him great. We would have had no problem with him. Now he's getting very angry with us, and he's getting very angry with, I understand he doesn't like her. He doesn't know her, but he forms opinions, and he doesn't like her. And he thought that Biden was a stupid man, a very stupid man. He would say that, but I say the same thing, so at least we agree on something. But Biden they really have hurt our country. These people have hurt our country. Kim Jong-un was great for as long as he was there. As long as I was there was going to be no problem, that I can tell you. We met in Singapore. I got to know him so well. And, you know, I always say that we have enemies from within and we have enemies on the outside. So he would be considered, I guess, an enemy. I think he would be absolutely fine. China, the same thing. I always say if you have a smart president, you don't have a problem with the outside. But you still will have a problem with the inside because these people are sick. They're sick. And the people from the inside, I mean, they're willing to take down our country. It's incredible. When I look at guys like Adam Shifty Schiff, he's such a bad guy, such a liar with the Russia hoax. It was a total hoax. It went on for 2.5 years, and total exoneration, nothing to do with Russia. The opposite. I was the worst thing that ever happened to Russia because I stopped the pipeline, the Russia pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody ever heard of Nord Stream 2. But, you know, it was just 2 years of this stuff. And actually putting our country in danger because you put your country in danger with another country.
So I know Fannie Willis has treated you very unfair. I have a friend who's currently being treated unfair by her. He's a rapper named Young Thug.
Yeah.
And I was just...
I heard that, actually.
Yeah, I just was wondering if there's a way that we can make sure he gets treated fair, that's all.
Maybe. We are living in a reality TV show produced by aliens. I'm broken the fourth wall. This is a reality TV show produced by aliens. I did it. I found out what's going on.
So I've heard about him, and I heard he's being treated very unfairly by her.
Yeah.
And I would tell her she's got to treat these patriots that are being all terrible. They're going after him. And I hear Young Thug is being treated. I heard the name.
Yeah.
I heard it from other people where they say he's being treated very unfairly.
Very unfair. So
he's got to be treated fairly.
Please. Thank you, Tom. So let's see who we got next on the couple. We got a couple more people left.
Okay.
Got some, hopefully some good ones. Well,
So he was very good with me because when they were doing the Russia hoax, they said I did something with him on a phone call, and basically I congratulated him on his winning the presidency.
right.
And said some other things which turned out to be perfect, better than perfect. If he sees any corruption, please report it to the Attorney General of the United States, which we have an agreement with the country. We have actually a signed contract with them, a very important one, that because Ukraine has always been known as very corrupt. I don't know if you know that. It has been a very corrupt country. I think the people are great, but it's been very corrupt. And I said, if you find any corruption in the country, you should report it immediately to the Attorney General. I did say that. And it was a very good thing to say. It turned out I was 100% right in saying it. So they made up a phone call, but fortunately, the phone was essentially taped. The call was essentially taped. I didn't know this, but a lot of times when you're talking foreign leaders, they have tapes, or they have stenographers. and we had two professional, really great military stenographers. So every word. So when they said I did these things, I said, no, I didn't. And then I said, was that taped or did they have the stenographers? The answer was yes. And they got all the way down the line to impeach me. They wanted to impeach me over this phone call, a single phone call. And I knew that I had them because I had the tape or the stenographers, everything, perfect. Every word was said. And then they did the impeachment. And just before that, because I remember Nancy Pelosi was crazy, we can't impeach him. Look at what the phone call was. She saw the phone call.
Yeah.
And then they decided, well, let's do it anyway. Can you believe how bad these people are?
Horrible.
Let's do it anyway, because they had the phone call.
Yeah.
That's where Tim Scott, a great guy from a senator from South Carolina, he said, wait a minute, I've just read the phone call. That phone call was, he was the first one to speak up. Tim Scott of South Carolina. Then Republican senators spoke up, and they were great. I mean, you know, there was great. Of course, the only one was Mitt Romney. You know, real stiff, and he couldn't get elected dog catcher right now. But and he actually voted. He actually only took a half a vote away, but everybody else voted for me, 100% unanimous with the Republicans, and it was fine. But what they did was they made up a call, and then when they found out that I had it essentially on tape, they looked really bad, and they had a decision to make. Do they pull it? And she said, no, we shouldn't be doing this, but let's go ahead with it anyway. I did nothing wrong. So you have to be careful. So let me just say about him. So when they called him and they asked him, did President Trump say anything that was inappropriate or wrong? He said, absolutely not. It was a very nice phone call. There was nothing unusual about it at all. And he could have grandstanded. He could have said, well, you know. And he didn't say that. So I respect him. I think that I will be able to make a deal with him and Vladimir Putin very quickly.
That's great.
Even though it would have been a lot easier before this war started, and you wouldn't have 500,000 people, or maybe much more than that. I think you're going to find that the number of people dead is far greater than what they're saying. That's a really nasty thing going on over there. But I think I will be able to get him and Putin together, and we'll get it.
I'm sorry. We're in a TV show. It's sad that we're in a TV show. It's like overwhelming, overstimulating. That we are literally in a TV show, and this shit is crazy.
It ended. It would have never started if I were president. We had no chance of starting. You know, I knew Putin very well, know him very well, and it was the apple of his eye. Ukraine was the apple of his eye. He did love it. He did want it, but he knew he couldn't do it. He wouldn't. He would not. He knew he could not do it. He would have never done it if I was president. And now when you look at all of the death and all of the destruction, even of their culture, because those cities are wiped to the ground. You know, most of the cities outside of Kiev, most of those cities are wiped down to the ground. And it's so sad. And when those buildings come down, there are plenty of people in there. You know, people think those buildings don't have people. They have a lot of people in those buildings that don't want to leave. And those buildings come down. They're big buildings, big, heavy buildings, and they come down. And the people are crushed. Instantly, they're crushed.
Horrible.
Missiles hit them.
Gotcha. I wanted to touch base real quick on the inflation thing. So, you know I saw you when you went to go speak in Nashville.
Yeah.
You talked about crypto. You said that crypto can help with debt. You know, you mentioned that's somewhat like gold. Do you think that, you know, when you get back in office, you would still fully support crypto? And, you know, I just saw that the U.S. government, ever since you spoke about it, they're selling crypto. They're selling it. So what would you do if you were in office with crypto?
It's something they shouldn't be doing because they should be trying to build it. So if we don't do it, China's doing it, other places are doing it, and they're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a very modern currency. It's a very modern form. And I know a lot of very good people that are really into that world and into that market. They're smart. They're good people. And they think it's going to be very beneficial. And remember this, though. It's very important. It's like AI. Do you love it? Do you not like it? If we don't do it, China's going to do it. Or other people are going to do it.
Yeah.
And we can't be left behind. And crypto is right in that sphere. And it is a form of currency. And again, China's already doing it.
You get him to talk about money, he might start sounding real good. God. 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 Man, this is crazy. Let's go to another crazy politician. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is copping to a viral mystery that once had New Yorkers baffled it. Admitting he dumped a dead bear carcass into Central Park and tossed a bike on top of it as a joke. The independent candidate official has been sent as far as the story. Okay.
Front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. I was driving up maybe, really early, like 7, and that woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear, and it was very good condition, and I was going to and put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And so then we went hawking, and I had the bear in my car. And then we had a really good day, and we went late. We were catching a lot of game, and the people really loved it, so we stayed late. And instead of going back to my home in Westchester, I had to go right to the city because there was a dinner at Peter Luger's Steakhouse. And at the end of the dinner, it went late, and I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport. And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car because that would have been bad. So then I thought, at that time, this was the little bit of the redneck in me. There'd been a series of bicycle accidents in New York. They had just put in the bike lanes. And saw a couple of people had gotten killed, and it was every day, and people had gotten badly injured. Every day it was in the press. And so I thought, I wasn't drinking, of course, but people.
White people did away with. I wasn't drinking, of course, but you was at a dinner. We are, I don't know, maybe them Abrahamic law curses is real. I just can't fathom actually being black and being under the thumb of these people, because it's so crazy. Like, it's just absolutely, it's crazy. He sounds nuts. He sounds like a complete nut job. Like, that's just crazy too, but yeah.
People were drinking with me who thought this was a good idea. And I said, I had an old bike in my car that somebody had asked me to get rid of it. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. It'll be funny for people. So everybody thought that's a great idea. So we went and did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something. The next day, it was like, it was on every television station. It was.
Actually, going back to the Trump stuff, I know we're on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. If Venezuelans can vote, they will vote for Trump, and they will vote against their best interests, because the Latino community is conservative and believe that they're white too. It's so weird, bro. I don't know. We're fucked.
The front page of every paper, and I turned on the TV, and there was like a mile of yellow tape, and there were 20 cop cars. There were helicopters flying over it. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do?
Mark your calendars this summer because FanDuel has something for everyone every day, like profit boosts, so you can score bigger winnings in any.
It. But if we don't do it, they're going to do it. AI is something that's really at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And there are pros and cons to everything, but China is trying to do everything.
Yeah.
And we've got to beat them to the punch.
I would love to see you and Elon, get together and talk about AI together. I think it's really, really important because, Elon with what he's
It's just too crazy. It's so crazy. It's just so crazy. I don't know. It just it all sounds like a video game or a TV show. He came in to Mini Man. Who is this? The Chiefs gave. He lied about the or Fidel Castro shit. That's wild. Chiefs highest paid kicker. Harrison Butker has agreed to a 4-year deal that makes him the highest paid kicker in the NFL, according to reports. Yeah, the NFL doesn't, the Chiefs don't, and the NFL doesn't care about LGBTQ and women. What did he say in that shit again? What's his name? Chris Butker. Oh, maybe I'm joking. Harrison Butker. That's great. I don't know why I'm getting Chris. Butker Speed. Oh shit, Catholic vote?
I am someone not much older than all of you, yet I've been asked to speak, not because I am a great orator or because I have a number of impressive accolades. Well, I guess I do have 2 Super Bowl rings. I just happen to be blessed by God to be really good at kicking a funny-shaped ball between 2 yellow posts. So as someone who is not paid to speak for a living, I'm about to pop off some hard truths. I don't care if you have a successful career. I don't care if you have a big bank account or you fly private. Many of you in this crowd will achieve these things. Some of you maybe already have. But in the end, no matter how much money you attain, none of it will matter if you are alone and devoid of purpose. As someone raised in a family of overachievers, success was expected. And as a young man, I found happiness in being celebrated for my worldly achievements. My inner desire to be celebrated manifested academically through long hours of studying and, of course, riding the curve. That desire was pushed further by the many successes I attained playing here on the flats. All of you are here today because you are smart, capable, and hardworking people. But if we're being honest, the world is filled with miserable, smart, capable, and hardworking people. There are too many examples to list of people who have achieved great worldly success and fleeting happiness, but in the end are unfulfilled. Now, don't get me wrong, I want you to be successful, but this isn't so much about your career as it is using your talents, being your best, fulfilling the potential you were created for. It is said, what's done in the darkness will be brought to the light. This is a powerful reminder to us all that our actions matter, whether they're seen or not. Some of the most important people who have ever lived remain unknown, and their stories have yet to be told. But they still used their God-given talents to do great things and change the world. What a profound example. to be motivated by our purpose rather than the current spotlight of the world. For many of you, your academic careers are coming to an end. For some, this is just one of many milestones. Either way, it is important to use today as an opportunity to take stock of your mission. Our culture is suffering. We all see it. It doesn't matter which political persuasion you sit on, or whether you are a person of deep faith or not. Anyone with eyes can see that something is off. Studies have shown one of the many negative effects of the pandemic is that a lot of young adults feel a sense of loneliness, anxiety, and depression, despite technology that has connected us more than ever before. It would seem the more connected people are to one another, the more they feel alone. I'm not sure the root of this, but at least I can offer one controversial antidote that I believe will have a lasting impact for generations to come. Get married and start a family. Wow. I will say this is the most important ring I have right here. Having kicked the game-winning field goal in both the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl, I have received a great deal of praise for these successes. They just announced that this Super Bowl was the most watched football game of all time, and yet all of this happiness is temporary. And the truth is, none of these accomplishments mean anything compared to the happiness I have found in my marriage and in starting a family. My confidence as a husband and father, and yes, even as a football player, is rooted in my marriage with my wife, as we leave our mark on future generations by the children we bring into the world. How much greater of a legacy can anyone leave than that?
This morning, the fallout over Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker's graduation speech growing. From the NFL to a founder of Benedictine College, the school where he gave the address, more people now.
If people would be honest, America would be great. Like he was on the verge of going, yo, if you're gay, probably shouldn't do that. He was close. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he was close to saying that. Let's toggle up to the No Jumper universe real quick.
But other than that, we should maybe let Loose Cannon tell his part.
Oh, sure. That sounds great. He got his fanciest pants on.
Come on over here, Loose.
Get over here in them pants. Look at them
The
pants.
pants is hard. The pants is hard.
He came through with his purple shirt, purple pants, purple everything.
I think when he got an outfit.
An outfit.
What up, Adam?
How you living, Loose?
I'm living good. How you living?
Just out here, just opping it up, you know?
Yeah.
You know.
See,
So-
he's on. He got positive attitude.
He
look
said
at
like
attitude.
2 words so far. We can't
Usually
judge
his
him
first
yet.
2 words is like, yo, he's a bitch. He's a bitch. He got a positive attitude.
Who is it? Would you even be thinking about getting back cool with Brick if it wasn't for Whack? Or what's the... How'd that even become a
telling
topic?
Luke, listen, me and Luce, I'm like, Luce, listen, we moving into another space of business. Right?
Diapers.
Period. Not only just that.
Okay.
Building, we got
Apartments.
yeah, we move, we
all
finna start
that.
building and shit like that. So we moving into another space of business. So it's like, you know, the little eyes and ears, let's just saw them up and keep moving.
See, the thing is, I never had a problem with Brick. You get what I'm saying? It's like Brick. Big U made Brick do videos and talk shit about me because I was on Big U's head. So at the end of the day is when me and Brick had plenty of conversations. And when we had conversations, it was like, it was cool, it was good. He swore up and down I leaked the conversation, but it wasn't that. You get what I'm saying?
But how did you not leak that conversation?
Who?
The phone call with you and...
There was other people on the phone, right?
Oh, okay. So one of them was the one that leaked it. Gotcha.
So at the end of the day, is me and Brick talked about that.
Okay.
And then he was like, hey, come to No Jumper and let's make peace. I said, listen, cuz I'm gonna come here, we're gonna talk, or whatever like that, and get shit out the way. Because he wanted to meet me, right, like to go out to eat and stuff like that. And then if we had to get in, we was gonna get in. But I just told Brick, like, cuz we could skip all that, whack, leveled head, and he said, like, listen, it's good for the West Coast. Let's patch everything up because we got a lot of busters out here anyway. And like I told you, I see a lot of potential with Brick. You get what I'm saying? And like when you asked me, I said Brick is the best one. You get what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, it's like Brick should know that I don't have no malice in my heart or I want to do something to Brick. You get what I'm saying? I just want him to, keep it real with the world.
I don't even think he thought you was gonna do something to him. Speaking with him, it's just the politics. And when you're dealing with neighborhoods and shit, right? If you're not really in a position to deal with the fire or deal with the bullshit, you don't want to deal with it, right? And I think Brick probably started getting calls and don't do this, don't do that. Do I think he's gonna regret it later? Absolutely, because I think this right here could have been a pivotal turn in his podcast career. You know what I mean? It'd been I think other doors open up because there's no doubt when it come to me, people hesitate doing shit with people if they think it's somebody I got a problem with, right? So,
I can't tell if White really be like moving mountains behind doors, or like, I just don't know. He's another one of the Matrix too. Like this is weird. Like Loose Cannon told Big U. I don't know if the Big U stuff's real, but it sounds. But and then Wack. I don't know, man. This is too much. It's too much. Like it's too much. Donald Trump whacking 100 No Jumper. Fucking NASDAQ. Stock market crashing, like, oh, God, bro.
I talked to him. He said, "Man, I was getting some pushback, which I don't acknowledge that kind of shit."
I don't think that's true, but at the end of the day, it's like, even if we did it off camera, you get what I'm saying? We could be face to face and talk like men. And it's like no problems. Like I don't have no animosity that I want to do something to Brick. You get what I'm saying? So it's like he haven't did anything harm to me, but just talk. You get what I'm saying? And it's like he say a lot of shit that it's not true, but at the end of the day, it's like if it's not true, it's not true. It's not gonna hurt me.
He spun the shit out of them dudes. I don't even mention his name. He spun the shit out of them dudes. He told them dudes he had a conversation with me that I wanted to wave the white flag. I don't even think he told him that. Well, he must have told him that. I wanted to wave the white flag with Big U. Now, this was funny. 10 days ago, 600 does the video of the phone call we got of people, wanting to kill the shit, right? So, we told 600 what was going on because I didn't want him to, if the call had happened, because the call went from them to our side, went to Loose to talk to me. So I just was letting the 600 know, this the call Loose got. The call ain't happened, but if they call back Loose and Loose call on the phone, this who's supposed to be on the phone. And I guess 600 jumped out the window.
He jumped out the window.
He went straight to the internet, so it's weird.
600 has a very strong relationship with the internet. He found out about that shit and he was just like, oh, I'm on this.
You
I like this.
You think he's a clout monster?
I didn't use that language, but he definitely likes making videos.
What's wrong with clout monsters? You got a problem with clout monsters?
Listen, we're all clout monsters.
That's a room on the Hunter side, man. That's one of my rooms, man.
Be a clout monster?
That's the name of the room, clout monsters, man.
You ever heard about the Zest monsters?
No, I don't know about them.
They're out there.
You know what I mean?
I don't know exactly who, but I'm here.
Maybe what have and this dude has some validity in what they're saying, because they haven't been killed yet. So.
And they're out there.
No, but Adam, ask yourself. It's like
I watched a random 600 video and he's just fully like he's putting the video starts. He's putting his gun in his little bag and putting it to the side for the video. I'm like, that's amazing. Just start with that.
I don't watch YouTube.
I clicked on a random video. That's what I saw.
Yeah,
and it was him.
I never seen that shit.
He got his concealed carry. He's out here.
Yo,
On
what you
YouTube.
think?
This is just something random.
Side. So let's talk about it. Now, Brick Baby's cousin, who goes by the name G-Face, is a reputable from 5-1 Troubles, which is also the same gang that Smack's from. Now, Brick Baby already told everybody on social media, and we all thought that he was lying when he said that him and Smack's beef is just social media, and it can never leak into the streets because he got reputable family members that's from Troubles as well as the Hoovers. Now, when Brick Baby and Smack was going back and forth online, even dissing each other's gang, G-Face said he gave Smack a phone call. Now, he said when Smack picked up the phone, he told Smack that although they both from Troubles and they always gonna be homies, at the end of the day, Brick Baby's his family. But if he tries to take it any further than that, then he's riding with Brick Baby. And G-Face said that's why Smack and T-Rail brought Brick Baby on back on Fig, and they all pretended like they made up everything, because he wasn't gonna allow it to go any further than that. Then G-Face transitioned into how the Trouble Gangsta Crips formed. Now, he said they started off as a tagging crew known as Nothing But Troubles at Lemert Park in South Central LA. Now, he said that tagging crew had a lot of different gangs in it, and he said they had people from 30s, 40s, 60s, and even BPS that were part of that tagging crew. And G-Face said when the gang conflict came into play, that's when they started transitioning into the 50s. And he said two of the founders of the Trouble Gangsta Crips stayed on Halldale, so they changed their name to Nothing But Halldale Troubles. Now, G-Face recalls the first time he got locked up in juvenile hall, somebody came up to him banging on him saying, "Where you from?" And G-Face said when he said 5-1 Troubles, that guy looked confused because his gang was still fresh at that time. And G-Face said that's when he peeled off his shirt to show his gang tats and they got out. And he said even though his gang was small at that time, they were vicious and they were going at it with the Rolling 40s as well as the neighborhood 5-5.
But think I'm going against the grain, man. It's the hood.
For a second, homie, I thought 600 was going against the grain, man. I was tripping. I even told a few people, man, what the fuck is going on right here? Like Wack 100 and got him another nigga to be insubordinate, nigga.
But think I'm going against the grain, man. It's the hood. Notice the hood. They always think I'm going against the grain, though. You know where we at? On the hood. Anybody got any problem, pull up. Anybody got any problem in the hood?
Had to check in.
Oh, you know we check shit. I'm checking the hood every day. What you mean? How am I not gonna check in? The light-skinned niggas is winning right now. Look at Drake.
Wack 100 light skin.
Who? I'm talking about Drake, nigga. I said. By him not doing something about it. I was like, he want to just play a game and talk. We could talk. Well, I could talk. So that's when I start talking. Who you talking to? Nigga, you got a contract with LAPD?
But other than that, we should maybe let.
Bro, it's more to it. It's more to it. That's why I let you rock. So leave it alone. Yes, on my soul. Hey, yo, listen, y'all. I've been doing this for 4 years, y'all. I've been talking shit to everybody who has ever put a hand.
He said, bitch, you ain't going nowhere. We gotta get out.
That leg lock is crazy, though.
Hey, that leg lock means we finna get out. I guarantee you.
Nigga hit you with that shit.
He got socked, he got dropped. But shout out to this leg lock, cause I guarantee you he needed to pay.
Where you going?
Yeah, he's like, no, he's not ready. You can get me and Bob on the ground, that's cool, whatever the case may be. But
Do you think
that leg lock solidified the fade,
Do
huh?
you think they got out after
Oh,
this?
they got out after this. Hold on, did it play all the way? This ain't the this.
They get out
all the way because he went for the fade after that when he got out. Look. He like, hold on, look, hold on,
He's
look.
like woozy though.
Bro,
still.
look, watch when he get
Look,
up,
he
homie.
woozy.
He like, oh no, we finna.
Look, he look woozy. Can't no nigga, he didn't even look. The nigga, he
That's
blocked him.
horrible.
He supposed to push the nigga. Watch out, don't block this nigga. I don't think they took the fade after that. I think my nigga turned back around like, what's happening? Nigga,
Oh no, they run the fade because old boy socked him. So if
I
he
know
made up
that,
again,
but
he socked him again.
But I'm saying the nigga, the way when he got up, he did this. When he got up,
Shout out to Back on Fed. I love them niggas. Fed Community, World, Community, all them. I love them. Shout out to my LA niggas. He's a giant. Trump paying that $45 million from Elon. That I just need 100. Anyways, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share, whatever you want to do. If I sound stupid, it is what it is. But like, comment, and subscribe. Most people ain't going to do the research in front of y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. You're helping me, and if you help me, I'll help y'all. Help y'all, help me. I'm gonna do fundraisers. I'm gonna do a lot. Promise you. And this ain't. I'm not. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be very big. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for even watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Subscribe, please. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed so far. Y'all are fantastic people. Awesome people. Very awesome.